The Apple car. Woo! It's almost upon us. We can't wait. There's some massive rumors out there about Kia partnering up with Apple. We're going to dig into it and we're going to separate fact from fiction. Yo, $1 Billion Haters Club. My name's JP. Today we're going to do a bit of trend jacking and check out the rumor mill and basically, let us know, let you know in this video whether we think the rumors are real. I do sniff a bit of a cover up, so we're going to kind of unpack that and how things have played out over the last couple of days. And we'll check out some of the kind of cool concept designs as well. Let's get into it. Let's start with the goodness. Let's get all pumped up. Let's get excited. Look at these designs. Some of these are a stretch. That's clearly just a white BMW on the top left here. But if we go down, there's some really kind of cool things in here, some cool designs. I think these kind of out there futuristic ones are highly unlikely. Like I think Apple's, they really respect kind of historic, iconic design. So like they did with the Apple Watch, they retained a lot of that kind of classical elements, like the switch, the turn, what do you call that? The little turning thing. Anyway, they've really respected, classic design elements. So I think they'll do something similar here with the Apple car. And no doubt it's coming at some point. So my money's not on these kind of like movie style futuristic designs, but probably more on something like this, which I think, it still inherently feels like a car. That means it's going to appeal to a broad bunch of people, but it's really got that kind of modern design, minimalist aesthetic that Apple's famous for. And I think they really kind of innovate on materials like they have done with their phones and watches. And obviously the user experience as well will be really different. But I do think there'll be elements of the car which are quite conventional and certainly kind of borrowing a bit from what Tesla's been able to do, but maybe taking that to another level. So that's super exciting. Anyway, so getting onto the rumors, and this is the big one, but Kia partnering with Apple to build an electric vehicle in Georgia, which makes sense in the US on home soil. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is Hyundai and Kia are the same company for starters, but they build their vehicles as a platform. So you can see here on this image, this is like a vehicle platform that they would share across both the Hyundai and Kia brand. And really what goes on top is a shell, and that's a unique design for that particular brand, and the technology and all those things can change. So it would make sense for a brand like Apple to jump on board with a company like Hyundai Kia and kind of just leverage their platform and their automotive making expertise, but put their own kind of shell design on the top and their own, kind of technology in terms of linking together with the Apple ecosystem. So I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of leveraging the platform. So when this news came out, I'm like, yes, this makes sense. Is Kia the right brand? And that's really the next question. And this is where it gets interesting because they've rebranded super recently. So this is January this year. And if you were planning something big, you would look at, I guess, kind of rebranding yourself so you can show up in the right way when the big news drops. So I think the fact that Kia's modernized their logo, and this logo design's great because it says Kia without actually kind of having all the letters spelt out. So that's really clever. And it's got this idea that kind of sits behind it of movement that inspires. So this Kia, like being this kind of single movement and continuous movement, it's really great, but it looks modern, it looks cool. They've made a big deal about the launch of it. And Kia is a brand that appeals to youth, which is in line with Apple. And I think both brands, there's kind of a mutual exchange here that can go on. So Kia doesn't have any of that kind of legacy dated baggage that a lot of other car brands would have. So it really is a fresh kind of young brand that doesn't stand for a lot, but they are kind of innovative in terms of being attached to Hyundai. So that stuff is ripe for partnership with Apple. I don't think Apple's got much brand damage to worry about if they do go down a partnership route. And it could be a similar arrangement to Beats, where they kind of treat it as a bit of a sub-brand within the family. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. But the fact that they've done their rebranding right now speaks volumes. And then this is kind of the last piece of the puzzle. So if you think about 2 days ago, the initial leak about the manufacturer in Georgia, then we've got here basically a public spokesperson coming out and saying, no, this is not happening. We've ended talks with these guys. And they would have to say this because if you signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, there'd be a lot of lawyers involved, and Apple's a super secret company. They don't want stuff getting out. They found out you leaked it. but you didn't deny the rumors. You could be guilty just by virtue of not denying what's gotten out there. So I think this is really interesting, and the fact that they've come out and denied it, I'd take that with a grain of salt. That doesn't tell me that they're not doing it. It tells me they're not prepared to talk about it right now, and someone may have, who knows what went on behind the scenes of the leak. Probably if Kia are actually reaching out to production plants in Georgia, that could be a massive rap on the knuckles for Kia, and they've told them to deny things. They also may just want to make sure there's not too much volatility in the share price. So if I was a betting man, I'd still buy Kia shares at this point. What do you guys think? Does Apple partnering up with Kia make sense? I mean, I'm aware that people have quite different views on Kia as a brand. I am quite close to it, and I understand and probably respect Korean automotive manufacturer more than the average person. So I'm on board with this plan. And I think Kia's a great brand, and they're just kind of constantly striving and innovating. And I think Apple has similar things in their DNA, and I think together, without both being kind of brands that don't have a lot of negative connotations, they could really kind of partner up in a really smart way, but obviously on Apple's terms, because that's how things work in Apple world. But let us know what you think in the comments below. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, but we need your help, and it's a certain milestone we want to get to. Super important. So please help us out. Share the content around. Do what you can. Do your part. Get this in front of more people. Help the YouTube algorithm do its thing. My name's been JP. This is the $1 Billion Haters Club. Peace and love to you all.